to Knit One, Heart 2, episode 124, I hope.
Yes.
And I am Wendy, also known as Penny Money, and I have a guest host today, who is...
I'm Lois, Knittingsmybag.
Wait, yeah.
Sheila substitute, very poor Sheila substitute, but...
But yes, Sheila is working today, and I came up to visit Lois. We are in the lovely state of Maine.
Yay!
At Lois's camp. And my kids have been here with me. We came up yesterday, and we're leaving tomorrow, and Lois said she would record with me, which I thought was pretty cool.
Wendy said I had to record with her.
That's how it actually happened. I said,
anybody who knows Wendy knows that's how it goes.
That's how it goes. What Wendy says.
Yeah.
What Wendy says goes. All right. So, knit along. We told you this last week, but we're going to do a knit along starting for September and October, and we're taking a break in the month of August because, frankly, Sheila and I were not prepared to come up with a new idea. And so we need to get some ideas for that. People post them in the threads for the show so that we can figure out what we're doing for our next knit along. And, we could do a yarn theme one, like everything has to be knit out of a certain kind of yarn. Or we could do a yarn weight thing. Everything has to be knit out of a certain kind of yarn weight. Whatever. Just tell us what your ideas are, and we'll come up with something.
I was going for 2 months, right?
Yes, we like to do it for 2 months because it gives people plenty of time to get their project done. Not everybody is a fast knitter or can knit things in 2 days, so, for those people out there who can't do that, it's ideal for you. I'm also going to draw a prize to see who won. Rachel Klusner, who is Diabolical Yarns, skeleton mitts at the end of the show. So tune in for that. And I might actually record that tomorrow when I go home, just so I have everything that I need. So that might look like me in a different outfit in a different place doing the end of the show, just so you know. All right, so on the dance card, I'll let you go first because you're the guest. Because I have to figure out what I have. Go.
Okay.
You go.
All right. So, I am working on, first thing I'm working on is the, oh my word, what's it called? How do you pronounce that?
Missoni inspired
chevron blanket.
And it's so pretty.
And these are the colors of the yarn I chose.
Can you get it? It's hard to see in this lighting, but lots of blues.
And it's for here. It's for the lake.
Hold up the other end.
I've just gotten that far.
Look how pretty it is. It makes me want to make one, but that's a lot of knitting. That's a lot of knitting.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It's
Yeah.
so pretty.
So I'm just using Knit Picks, something or other. Knit Picks what? Wool of the Andes.
Wool of the Andes. That's a good, sturdy, affordable wool.
In various colors. 17 different colors, I think. No, maybe it was 17 different yarns. Something like that.
I'm a little tired.
I
Just
know.
yawned again. I'm sorry.
We didn't get much sleep last night.
No, we didn't.
Wendy kept us up. Okay.
No, Lois apparently stays up until 2 in the morning.
So, the only other thing I have going is
I love
a
those.
sock. This is a garter stitch sock, which I'll never do again, but because I do have little...
Oh, yeah.
where you have to switch over from...
Yeah, it makes a little...
Yeah, a little ridge when you have to switch over to purl, but I don't know. I think it's cute. It's just got a short... It's summery colors, so my summer socks have short legs.
Yeah, all my socks have short legs.
And
I'm too
this
lazy.
is a really cute yarn from 3 Used Twisted and Fiber, which she no longer dyes, but it's green eggs and ham.
I love that.
And the euphoric sock. And this is a big... It's 460 yards.
Wow.
So I could probably get out of these short socks 2 pair.
At least. You probably get 2 pair and a pair of baby socks.
Yeah.
I like that.
So
I love that. Green eggs and ham. Yeah. Green eggs and ham.
Yeah, it's
yarn.
cute. It's not... I thought it was stripy, but it's not stripy.
It's a little stripy.
Semi-stripy.
Semi-stripy. That's a good way to describe it.
It doesn't pool a lot. I'm not big on pooling.
See, I adore pooling, so
You
that's
do?
funny. Yeah.
Mm.
That's why I made this so that it would pool in.
It looks more like stripe.
Well, it's striping, but it's stripes that pool, so.
Pooling stripes. Okay.
Stripes that pool.
All right, so I'm done then.
So that's what she has on the needles. And what I have on the needles, I will show you. First thing, I still have, oops. Oh, I thought I just ripped the needle out of this. That would have been a disaster. I still have my seashell shawl on the needles. I got a few more rows done, but I haven't really been working on it. And I think I'm showing you the back side because I'm working the reverse. There's the front side. But I literally have 3 rows left of the body. And then I'll start. Isn't that soft?
It is, but how do you tell the...
This is the right
I
side.
see.
Because the background is...
Yeah. This is so soft.
Isn't
What
it?
is it?
This is knit out of Blue Moon Fiber Arts Socks That Rock. No, sorry. Blue Moon Fiber Arts Silk Thread 2 in the spruced colorway. And it is 100% silk.
Wow.
And it is so soft. And it's so, like, if you look at the ball, it's like lustrous.
Oh, wow.
It's got, like, a shine on it.
Oh, how do you... Oh.
This is where I had my middle of my yarn ball disaster a few weeks ago, and I struggled to try to wait until it worked itself out, and it never did. So I broke down, cut the thread, and I'm working from the outside. Yeah, I've never had that happen with lace thread before, but I think because this is silk, it's so slidey that it's just so. I just keep shoving the disaster part on the inside. Hope for the best.
You'll have a lot left over.
I don't think so because the edging on this is about 7 inches deep. So I'm going to knit all the way around that whole triangle.
Oh, okay.
And I'll put it on the, for those of you who may not have seen it earlier. This is, I'll show you. See how deep the edging is?
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
So this is the part that is the edging that I have to work on next. And I am literally at the top. I have 3 more rows, and then I'll be at the edging to start. So, and as I've said before, there were a lot of chart errors in this pattern, and I'm just really hoping that I don't have the same problem with the edging, because that will be harder for me to figure out. The seashell pattern is very straightforward. An experienced lace knitter would have no problem figuring this out. And it's once you figure it out, it's easy even for inexperienced lace knitters. It's really not. It's just yarn overs, knits, and purls. It's not anything
It looks complicated.
crazy. It just looks complicated, but it really isn't. It's easy to follow. But the edging is more complicated in terms of what you have to do. So anyway, I'm enjoying doing that. I'm hoping to work on it more this week. I'll probably work on it a little more today, probably. So there's that. That's one thing. It's in my crabby bag with my fish themed, my shrimp bag.
It's all about
Seafood.
the ocean.
This is a seafood bag. So there's that. And then the other thing that I'm working on right now is my sweater. So if you've been watching, you know that I hand spun 2 pounds of diabolical Portuguese merino in the Flower Shop Inferno colorway, and it looks like this. Try to get.
Is that the right name or the name?
That's the real name. That's the one I call Atomic Flower Pot, but it's really, which now is its own separate colorway in Rachel's shop. But this is Flower Shop Inferno, and I wanted to make a very plain sweater, so I found a pattern called Fantastic, which I'm going to get for you. And it looks like this. Just a plain yoked sweater with a couple of garter ridges. See? Very simple.
Pretty.
But can you see how wide the gap is up here? The gauge that it's knit in is a 10.5 needle for worsted weight, so it's a very loose gauge. And I didn't really like the way that it looked. Oh, why am I looking at this and it doesn't have any of my...
Oh, this is the one that you changed. Why don't you just write your own patterns?
Because I'm an idiot. I don't know. So anyway, I had to change the gauge, and then I decided that I wanted to change the dimensions of the bottom because I am pear-shaped. So instead of having like same in same. It's like wide in, you know. So I had to make the body wider on the bottom, and then I basically am doing like an extra large bottom and a medium bust, like this, like a triangle. I'm shaped like a triangle. So I had to make a lot of changes to the pattern, and I'm not going to show you the text of the pattern. I'm probably not going to show you anything, but I'll show Lois. I struck out most
two
of the
rows that haven't been changed. It's just, it must be harder to do all that than just come up with your
I don't know. It probably is. The thing was, I thought I would be able to just knit this. The reason I bought this pattern is because it's exactly what I wanted, and I thought I would be able to just knit it mindlessly. But then the gauge was not as, I didn't like the gauge. So I went down to a 9 from a 10.5. So I went down 2 needle sizes. Then I noticed that the waist shaping was short rows across the back, and I don't like that. I would rather do regular increases on the sides because I'm familiar with where to place them for sweaters my size, and I don't really understand how the shaping that she did works. I'm sure it works great. I just don't understand where it's going to fall on my body, so I can't figure out where to put it without knitting it once and trying it on and seeing if I like it, which I didn't feel like doing. So I took out the shaping. And then I changed, I changed how long the body was going to be. I don't know. I just changed everything. And I should probably just know by now. What I could have done is taken Knitting Without Tears and gotten the Elizabeth Zimmerman formula and just done a sweater out of my head, and it would have been exactly the same as this. But I was lazy, so that's what happens when you're lazy. But anyway, I'm knitting it on US 9s. And this is the second time I've knit the hem, and I think I might have to knit it a third time. It's a garter edge. It's rolling too much. I think I'm going to have to do a 1x1 rib. I think a 1x1 rib is the only thing that's going to keep it from rolling, because I went down a needle size to do this.
Do a picot.
Do a picot edge, fold it over. Well, actually,
just fold it under.
You know what I could do?
Yeah, just fold it
I
under.
totally could fold it under there and just hem it.
Yeah.
I am so doing that. Lois just fixed my problem. It's a little bulky, but I'll just...
But look, it has a little ridge.
I know it has the ridge, so it makes a clean edge. Lois just pointed out that I could just do a folded hem, and that will totally fix it. It won't curl anymore. I'm pretty sure it won't curl. It's hard to tell because... That's what I'm going to do. Good call, Lo. All right, thank you. So, yes, I'm going to make a folded under edge. And I'll just...
Weren't you the one that just told me you don't go back? You just keep going.
Well, I know, but see, this is hand spun, so I'm more picky with that. Something like that, it's like, yeah. Wow. That was so mean. You're crappy wool of the Andes knit picks.
Sure.
No, I mean, you're making a blanket that, for your beach house that you told me yourself, if the moths get into it, I don't want to feel bad. Whereas I spent months of my life spinning this, and this is going to be a sweater that I hope to wear at Rhinebeck. Hopefully it will be hot there like last year. Oh, thank you for pointing that out, Lois. You totally just saved me hours of time. So anyway, I really like it. I spun this to make it stripe. And you can see that it is having a gradient stripe. What I did is I divided each braid into 3s, spun them singles, and then plied them together in the same direction so that it would do a sort of a heathered gradient. And it's coming out exactly as I hoped, and the stripes are going to get fatter and thinner as it goes up my body. And the arms will have really fat stripes. So it's going to be a very stripy sweater. None of the stripes are going to be the same. And I kind of like that look. I know some other people would be bothered by it. If you have a symmetry issue, this is not the design for you. And then I'll put a little texture in the yoke by doing some garter rows like is in that pattern. But I think I'm going to add a couple more.
Of course.
So there are a few. Well, as long as I'm rewriting the pattern, I might as well go for it, right?
That's right.
So, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I love knitting with my hand spun, and especially this because I'm always excited to see which color is going to pop up next. They're not in any particular order. Pretty. Rachel has some very good colors.
She does. Unlike that little
That
I don't even know
little,
what color, the little pop of...
the little pop
Is
of
it
orange.
rusty?
It's rusty reddish orange.
Yeah.
And you don't expect it in this sweater, but it just makes all the other colors sing because it's got that little bit of heat and all those cool colors. So yeah, loving it. You can check out Rachel's work at Diabolical Yarn if you're interested. Flower Shop Inferno is the real name. So I'm enjoying that. And I'll be working on that until probably October. Hopefully I'll get it done sooner.
In the car on the way there.
Because I realized I already finished one Rhinebeck sweater, which is Skipperty, that I finished earlier this year. So I don't even need to knit another sweater, but I thought I would. That's all that I have on the dance card.
The dance card.
Rate your date. You have a date to rate. You showed you had a finished object.
Oh, yes. I didn't.
Boy, get with the podcasting schedule, my dear.
Yes. I sent it home with my husband the last time he was here, so I only have a photograph.
I love it.
Yay.
I think it came out beautiful.
It is.
Put it up for you.
My second Ruby Slipper Charlotte
I love it.
by Wendy herself.
Designed by moi.
And
Before I got lazy.
I made it out of Dream in Color Smooshy.
Smooshy in the
Petal
showers.
colorway.
Yeah.
And I did go down a needle size because I was making it for my sister who's only like 5'6", or she's little anyway, tiny. So I didn't want it to be down to her ankles. But while I was knitting it, my other sister came to visit, and she just like, every day, she's like, please make it for me, make it for me, make it for me. So I just kept going and going and going, and I ended up with like
A tiny
2
bit.
yards of yarn left, but I love it.
I love it too. It came out gorgeous.
So
Good
I'm going to have
job.
to make my other sister another one. I just love, it's like potato chip.
I know, I enjoyed it because I knit it 3 times when I was doing it. I did 3 different samples of it, and it was
just
fun knitting it every time.
I like it because it's like, it's more, it really, I didn't fold it here like a scarf, but it really is more like a scarf, which is the kind that
I like wrapping it around my neck like that,
Yeah.
though, because I like the way it looks with 2 layers of the little ridges.
But it lays flat, that's what I like.
Yeah.
It lays
flat
flat.
down. Yeah.
And so you can see the design instead of, some people do so much work.
And then it's
You
all like
can't
bunched
see
up
it.
and you can't
Yeah.
see it. Yeah. That is
So.
true.
But this is a big bang for a little work.
I know.
That's
And
what
you
I
don't
like.
have to, once you've done the repeat a couple of times, you don't really have to look at the pattern anymore, which is what I like about it. Because I'm lazy.
So that's
So,
mine.
Let me see. Do I have any rate my dates? I really don't have any knitting to rate. I don't think I finished anything
Unless
this
you
week.
use your little squares.
Well, I was gonna do that in Crushes and Heart. No, Baubles and Bling. So no, I don't have any dates to rate this week. It seemed like I finished something, but that just must be all in my head. If there was something, I don't have it with me. So Whirlwind Romance. I didn't spin anything this week. Did you spin anything this week?
Yes, I don't have anything to show, but I've been spinning Rachel's
Oh.
that you gave me.
That's
From
right.
Diabolical Yarn. What is the name of it? 'Cause
That one's Atomic Flower Pot.
no, not that I'm spinning. It's what you...
Atomic Flower Pot is the one that I made up, and didn't I send you Atomic Flower Pot?
You sent me the yarn, but what am I spinning right now?
Oh,
The same thing that
Malala.
you've got,
Malala
yeah.
by Spunky Eclectic.
Oh, Spunky Collective.
Spunky Eclectic Malala,
Yes.
which is no longer, according to her, it was a limited colorway that is now, what's the word?
Retired.
Retired. So she has limited amounts of it left.
Why do I always get Diabolical and Spunky Eclectic confused?
I don't know.
I always...
I think it might be the brain damage that you have.
It may be. Oh,
I think my kids have beaten it out of me
oh
this.
no.
So, did I just go too far with this? Hold on, I gotta count a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I did go too far. Well, it doesn't matter. I'll just do it now. I have to make an increase. I forgot to do it a couple of rows ago, but since I'm in charge of the sweater, I can do it whenever I want. So let's see. And I didn't bring any spinning with me, but I'm hoping we're gonna spin later after some of us take a nap.
A nap. After a nap.
Future dates. What are you planning on knitting in the future? Anything?
I have all kinds of odds and ends that I'm trying to get done. Things I've started that I've been working on over the summer. I've got a baby sweater, and I've got just trying to. I had a huge list of summer knitting.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna really try hard to finish up that little stuff and finish this blanket before I go home, so I can leave it here.
Aww.
I got a long way to go.
You better get to knit.
I know.
So for me, my future dates. Well, I'm going to be knitting this, and I don't think I have anything else in mind right now. I was thinking of knitting a little knitted toy for my niece, but I've knit like 400 things for the baby.
When is the niece getting here?
September 27th, allegedly.
Oh,
so I have time. But I've been knitting for her since she was about 3 weeks
I
old.
remembered
3 weeks gestation or whatever.
So it's gone pretty fast, though.
I know. I'm excited
Getting down
about
to
it.
the wire.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see the baby. I can't wait to play with the baby. And I can't wait to then go home and leave the baby with somebody else.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. So I don't really have any future dates in mind right now. Crushes and heartbreaks. Lois has a big heartbreak this week.
Oh, yes. Well, as a matter of fact, it was just
today.
Just a couple hours ago, I was getting in a kayak with Lily.
Yep.
And Lily turned around, and there I was on my butt in the water with my phone in my pocket.
And I'm down the shore a ways, and I can hear Lily yelling something in the distance that sounds
She's
like,
down.
ballet! Ballet! I was like, what? Are you all right? Yeah, she was saying Lois fell in.
Yeah.
That's what it turned out she was saying. Oh,
Fell
Lois
in.
fell down.
She down.
It sounded like ballet to me. Anyway. So they came back around
And then I didn't even realize it was in my pocket, and I kept swimming around. After I fell in, I just kept swimming around.
well, she fell in, and then she got in the boat and was rowing around with the kayak with my daughter, and then came over and got my son and was rowing around with my son. Then she got out and she cleaned off the big raft and she dragged it into the water, and when she couldn't get in the water, she jumped in because she was already wet and she was swimming in her clothes, and all of a sudden she stands up and goes, oh my God, my phone's in my pocket.
So now it's in a bag of rice, but it's minute rice, so I don't think it's going to work.
You know, I dropped my phone into an entire dish of water. It was water that I had soaked things in that I was blocking. Mm-hmm. But literally, my phone fell in and I went like that.
Oh no,
my phone's perfectly fine. I think Lois's phone was in the water for at least 10 minutes.
Yeah, probably.
So I don't know if she's coming back from that heartbreak.
Oh well.
Any crushes this week? Oh, that laundry's done.
Laundry's done. Sorry. Oh, my crushes, you guys are here visiting me. I'm having the best time.
I'm having a good time, too.
And I'm having a great time with the kids. She has the most adorable kids. And
my
they're
kids
so
are being really
smart.
good.
They're way smarter than me, so.
No.
But we're having a lot of fun.
We're
going
are.
to have fireworks tonight, and we're going to have s'mores.
Yep.
The fire.
It's going to be super exciting.
So we're going to have fun.
Yes, that's my crush of the week too, because I was going to come and visit Lois last year, or meet up with her, because I don't know what was going on here, but last year it was like a crazy situation here. But we were going to try to meet up, and we could not get a date that, like, I was gone, and then you had company, and then you were busy, and there was no way to match it up. And so this summer I said to her, in May, I'm like, I am coming this summer. But then, like, the one time when I can finally come, you had company, and then I went away, and then I said it's happening again. So we made a swift plan late last week that I would come, because Wednesday, Thursday, and tomorrow morning are the only time that I have in the rest of the summer when I could come and visit. And it's kind of a drive, because we're down east. We're way down east. I haven't been this far down east since I was, I think, 19. Wow. So it's been a while.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. Long time. Yeah, because my relatives and the place that I go, we say Portland and below. We're Southern Mainers, so I'm not used to being up here in the boondocks.
And it is.
It's kind of boondocky. But my other crush is that I finally got to go to Rennie's, which is this great store in Maine. I say great store. My mother has been visiting her brother and his wife for at least the last 6 years without me once a summer. And she always comes home with like this great bag or like a cool sweatshirt or something. I got this for like $7 at Rennie's. I said, when we go to Maine, why do we never go to Rennie's? Oh, well, next time I'll be sure and take you. And then, of course, we don't have time to go to Rennie's. And I'm like, are you keeping Rennie's to yourself?
Yeah, it's a secret place.
So it just so happens that near Lois's camp, there is a Rennie's, and we went to it, and I got the cutest sock monkey outfit for my niece. So I'm thrilled. The kids got my daughter got a little stuffed animal, my son got some weapons, a gun that shoots darts, and another gun that shoots some kind of like a disc. Everybody was happy. I got crackers. Lois got her daughter a robe. They have everything at Rennie's.
They do candles. I got some candles.
She got some candles,
for the sweatshop.
It was awesome. So, yay. that's like one of I can cross it off my bucket list now. I went to Rennie's.
Life can go on.
Life can go on. And my heartbreak is, I will show it to you next week, but my heartbreak is that my size 1 signature needles broke when I was on vacation. I'm going to show you with this pair of signatures. The cord snapped off right level with the top, like it literally snapped off. And you could see the other half of the cord like inside the hole. It wasn't a situation where it had pulled out and I could try to like thread it back in and glue it with something. It literally snapped in half. It was like somebody had cut it with a knife.
Oh.
And it was my size 1 5-inch fixed circular. So I got in touch with Signature Needles. And they, I need some back support. I'm old. I called Signature, or I emailed Signature, and I told them what happened, and I sent a picture of the needle. They asked me to send a picture of the needle so they could see the damage. And they told me, like immediately, I got a response right away. They said, we can put you on the waiting list to replace the size 1 because we're back ordered right now. Or we can give you a credit, or we can give you another needle of your choice, any size, whatever you want.
Why did you not want another pair of ones?
Well, the size 1s are mostly for sock knitting, and I bought them in November of last year, and I've only used them twice because I don't really enjoy knitting socks at all, and I used them to knit 1 pair of socks, and then I had them in a baby booty. Those little tiny cozy toe socks. That's what I was working on, and they just snapped off. So I asked them to give me a pair of 8s because I don't have signatures in a pair of 8s, and I got them with a 40-inch cord because I usually use 8s to knit sweaters, so I like to have plenty of room on the cable. Mm-hmm. And so they sent them to me, but they surprised me by sending me a set of the new interchangeables. So that's kind of a crush. The heartbreak turned into a crush, you can see. So the tips screw into the cord, and the joint is really smooth because the cord end is the same width as the needle. In other interchangeables, I actually have a pair right here, because the cord end, I don't want to dump this off the needles. Because the cord end has to fit several sizes of needles, you can see it has to taper down to a point right here. So the needle gets wider, the bigger the needle is. And you don't have that problem with signatures. And they're really solid. I like the heft of these needles. I think that's why I enjoy them so much. Now, the downside to it is that for every set of needle heads that you have to buy the cords that fit. So I can't use these 40-inch 8s on anything but 8 tips. So if you're the kind of person who likes to have several cord lengths, I magic loop everything. So a 40 is fine for me because if I knit a tiny hat or a big sweater, I can use a 40. But I know that some people like to have a shorter cable that, lets them knit.
So for every size needle, you'd have to have every size cord.
If you're that person. The good news is, I know a lot of people only use a certain length of cord in like their ones or so you could
why
probably
would you get the interchangeables then? You should just get the fixed and save money.
But I think because if you are a person who likes to have more than one cable length, you'd have to buy the tips. You'd have to buy a whole set of needles.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can just buy, like, say you like to have a 16-inch 8, a 24-inch 8, and a 40-inch 8. Say those are the ones that you always use.
Mm-hmm.
You would only have to buy one set of tips and 3 cables for this, whereas before, when they didn't have this option, you'd have to buy 3 full sets of needles. So it would be much more expensive.
But with regular interchangeables.
Yes. Well, with Signature, the quality and the smoothness that I love so much comes at a cost. It's a luxury needle.
A premium.
It's a premium needle. Like, you know, as I've always said to everyone, I hate it that I like these so much because they're pricey. They are expensive. But I think they're worth it. Especially for me because I only need to have this one length of needle. I don't need to have cords. I only need one set of needles. So now I have 4, 5, 6, 8, and 4, 5, 6, and 8. Oh, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. I need a 7 and a 9. And I'm probably good because I don't usually knit higher than a 9. And I don't usually knit lower than a 3.
I just think I have ones 1, 5, 7, 8, and 9. And I've used the ones once.
See?
I haven't used any of the other ones.
I was like, wow, you know, because I liked the ones. I really enjoyed knitting socks in them. But when it came down to it, I was like,
I haven't even used the other sizes, though.
Well, I have these ones I'm using, and the project I just showed you with my lace shawl, that's on my 5s.
No.
I try to use them because I just really like the way they feel. But they're pricey. And
maybe that's why I don't use them. I'm afraid something's going to happen to them.
The interchangeable system, it's true. You have to, you need to decide what you need. And the other thing that I like about this is if I do break another cord or if I accidentally snapped a cord or did something, my cat chewed through it, I wouldn't have to replace the whole needle set. I could just replace the cord. And the cords are less expensive than replacing the whole set. So I'm happy about that too. So that was a really positive customer service experience. So I like to tell people about that because you are paying a lot for the needle. I think they're great needles. I do think it's worth trying to get a hold of them and knit with them before you invest because not everybody likes how they're very slick.
Yeah.
But they have a really good, clear warranty on all of their needles, and their customer service people were like that on it. I probably would have had my needles even sooner, but I was on vacation when they broke, and I couldn't really respond to them the way that they needed me to until I got home. So, because it happened right before I left. I don't know. But yeah, within a week, I had a new pair of needles in my hands.
Wow. And you didn't have to send the other ones back?
I didn't have to send them back. I did have to take a picture of them, to show them the damage. I'm sure they wanted to keep records of what kind of damage that happens with the needles. And I'm not sad at all that I exchanged the ones for 8s. I was already kind of kicking myself in the butt for getting the ones in the first place. I'm like, why didn't I get a needle that I always use? But I wasn't sure when I tried them if I liked them or not. So I didn't want to, I don't know what I was doing. What was I thinking? I was at Stitches East. The yarn fumes got to me.
Yeah.
So that was my crushes and heartbreaks. Baubles and bling. Do you have baubles and bling to show?
Oh.
No.
I'll let you go first.
Okay, I'll go first. Lois gave me a present. I'm not showing my daughter wants to show her stuffed animal. Lois made me a Maine bag. Blueberries of Maine. And I want it to smell like pine because, this reminds me of a little pillow that I used to have that had balsam in it, but it had blueberries on the outside. And I love this. If I'm sitting, I'm knitting. This is so true. This could be my back support right now. Look at that. That's perfect. I love this bag. And I'm going to put my other baubles and bling in this bag and keep it that way. Because the other thing that I told you about last week, I saw this demonstrated. I saw this for the first time. Lynn Zimmerman, who is Lynn Zim on Ravelry, and she is the one that does the Denver Oyster Run, had a couple of Instagram pictures of things that she was making with the shocked Zoom Loom. And when I saw them, I thought that it was kind of silly because it just makes these little squares.
Yeah, when you showed it to me, I thought, oh, it's just one of those little
I know.
things.
See, when you first see it, you're like, why would you get that? So then I went to Loom with a View in Newburyport, Massachusetts with my mother 2 months ago, and I saw a woman working with the loom. The loom is this big, and it comes with the loom and a really big needle and a small yarn needle and a little instruction booklet. And the thing that I like about the loom is it has a little catcher corner here for the beginning of the yarn. And it's hard to see it in this picture, but it has raised markings on each corner that remind you where to take, after you wind the yarn, where to go next. Like the little arrows tell you, come out here and go around through here.
I just thought you were like amazing doing it.
So that if you haven't done it in a while, it kind of guides you and reminds you where you're supposed to go next. And then at the end, it shows you where you start doing the weaving in that little hole. W is for, I was like, west. That's not west. No, it's for weaving. So I think it's really clever the way that they did it on there. And it's just a little light thing.
Design.
And it comes with this box that you can carry everything in. It has a little handle. So I got this. I ordered this from Spunky Eclectic online, Amy, and I got it Monday. I got it Monday. And since Monday, I've only used it.
Crazy.
I've only used it for maybe a total of like 4 hours of my life, but I've already made all these squares, and I did some experiments. The first squares that I did, I only used a single fingering weight, a single strand, and I like them, but you can see when I hold them up that depending on how thick the weight of the yarn is, some of them, they're kind of airy, see-through. You can see, try to put it where there, you can kind of see through them. So I have all of these. This one has a lot of holes in it. That one does too. So that was fun. Sock monkey one. These are all scraps that I have for my scrappy sock blanket. So then when I was at Lois's house, I started experimenting. And I did this one that has a single thickness thread warp, and the weft that goes through is doubled. And I like that one. It's a little bit thicker. But then I figured out how to measure how much I needed, and I doubled the entire thing. And this one I love. Those are nice and solid. So I have already made 5.
It's just awesome.
It's fun. It only takes 10 to 15 minutes to do a square. And it just pops right back off the loom. And you just can crochet them or sew them. They show you in the book how to sew them. I would crochet them because it's faster. Together. And
I just love to hold them.
I know, they feel good, don't they? And they feel really different. Those are so like, they've got some heft to them.
It really does feel like fabric.
Yeah, it's like fabric. And so I'm going to make a scarf for my daughter out of these. She said she would like a scrappy, like a single width scrappy scarf. I'll just crochet them together. And I'm saving these up to put into a sock blanket because I think, I know. I think that I can get a lot more of these done in the same amount of time as crocheting those little tiny flowers that I was doing. And I have brought a small portion of my scrap. I still have it. I took it out when I got all this. This is a small portion of my sock. What are those sock skeins? Sock club skeins?
Mini skeins.
Mini skeins. I have some mini skeins. I had a mini skein problem there. So yeah. Now I have something to do with those mini skeins. So this is Good Baubles and Bling. And I want to tell you, I did go to Fiber Revival this weekend and I bought some stuff, but I didn't feel like bringing all that extra stuff. I already brought enough stuff. My whole car was loaded with my spinning wheel and all sorts of stuff. So I will talk about Fiber Revival and the stuff that I got there next week when I record with Sheila. And I'm also going to feature one of my favorite artists who was at Fiber Revival, who is Josette of Enchanted Knoll Farms.
Yay! I love her.
Yes, you have rave reviews. If you had all your club stuff here, I was gonna do something on it today so we could have more variety. But I have more stuff at my house, so I will show you some of the stuff that I've gotten from her, and I just want to do a favorite things on her because her stuff is amazing.
Happy Hooves Club, that's what it's called.
Her Happy Hooves Club, I know. My friend Diane
awesome.
was in it. Lois loves it, and I was talking with Josette for quite a while. I've known her for a few years.
You have to spend like 4,000 pounds before you can.
I do. I can't be in her club right now. I need to catch up on the club that I'm not in anymore, but I'm still behind on. But I was talking to her. She is the second person that I ever bought hand-painted yarn from.
Wow.
In my life. I loved it. I got her sock yarn in treasure chest, the treasure chest
you can
colorway.
Remember the colorway?
Yes, because it was amazing. And I made a scarf, and a shawl scarf. It was the Iris Mystery Shawl. It was a summer shawl on one of our first year of episodes, I think it was. And I'm going to put a picture of it in right here so you can see what it looks like.
Oh.
I gave it to my sister-in-law. I don't have it anymore, but it was beautiful. So seeing Josette reminded me that it would be maybe a good time to talk about her because I haven't had time to spin any of this stuff from her. So next week, we're going to do a little feature on Josette. I was going to call the episode Rhymes with Rosette.
Okay.
I know.
All right.
I don't know what else rhymes with Josette. Rosette's the only thing I can think of. So that is it for my baubles and bling. Lois has good baubles and bling.
Okay. Some of your viewers might know that I have a shop, Knittingsmybag, where I sell project bags. And once in a while, 3-4 times a year, I do what I call a BAM, Bag and More kit, where I have a bag and work with an independent dyer.
What's the other one?
Make a little kit and I did a thread in my group. I have a Ravelry group, Knittingsmybag, and I asked people to give me ideas on different types of different types
I have all my bags just happen to be from Lois right now.
Dyers and who they suggested, so I took it to heart, everyone's suggestions. So the Halloween BAM, I'm not going to show you the fabric, but I will give you a sneak peek, official
drum roll,
of the yarn that's going to go. They're going to be 2 separate kits. One's going to be Halloween-y, one's going to be just fall-like. So this will give you an idea. See if you can guess who the dyer is.
Ta-da! Yay!
So yes, they're from Joan of Lollipop Yarns.
Yes.
She did 2 different colorways.
This
is
is
the Halloween
awesome.
one, and this is the autumn one. They'll match the fabric. So.
And for those of you out there who have been trying desperately to get your hands on a skein of lollipop yarn, this is an opportunity. Not only will you get the yarn, but you'll get to make a project and give you some instant gratification, but you'll have a project bag. This is one of her Halloween bags, not from a BAM kit that I got a couple of years ago, and I use it every day because it's one of my favorites. And I got to see the sneak preview of the bag materials, and it is super cute. So stay posted. Keep posted.
September, I think.
Join the Knittingsmybag group. I'll link her group in our show notes.
We have a contest going on now. Take a picture of your bag on vacation.
I took a picture of my bag on vacation, but I feel bad entering that because I already have so many of your bags. I should give somebody who doesn't have so many an opportunity.
Well, if you win it, you can give it away on your show. So there you go.
Yeah.
So you can still enter. I might
do that. That's really good. Cool. So that was some pretty good baubles and bling. Gossip and innuendo. I have to draw that prize. Yeah, I'm going to draw that prize from my house just because I can get organized beforehand and have everything. I'm too tired to do it right now. I'm not going to post this until Saturday, so I got time. What's coming up? Fiber events. Rhinebeck is coming up on the
October 19th.
October 19th and 20th. You know what? I'll tell you right
21st.
now. I have all the events on my calendar, so...
Poor people are going to start dreading it already when everyone starts talking
about Rhinebeck. Rhinebeck is a fun event, but for those of you who are kind of sad that you're missing out, if you can find a sheep and wool festival in your area, and I do understand that there are parts of the country where people don't have sheep and wool festivals, but if you're lucky enough to find one, it's a lot like that. Mm-hmm. It's big. A lot of the really big vendors come there, and so that's why.
But really, it's more fun to just go with your friends.
Well, I go there because it's the one time of the year that I know I can see people like Lois. Like, I'm just lucky that Lois happens to spend the summer near where I live. And when I say near, I mean 4 hours from where I live. So it's not like I can just pop over to her house. But I see you, and I get together with people that I know from all over the place who don't live anywhere near me, and I can spend that time with them. And the real fun of it is spending time with friends. And the first year, you buy everything.
We don't need more yarn. Or fiber, or anything.
I know. Still. But that's, it is what it is. So, I don't know. I feel, it's bad that I have such a big stash, but it is what it is, It's not like
You can't just go and not buy anything. That's how it works.
Well, the thing is, you see stuff and you think, I better buy it now or I'm never going to get it again. And so you buy it.
And then next week, you could get it again.
Or you never use it. So it's like, did I really have to have that? But, in my circumstance, I'm not snatching food out of the mouths of my children to buy yarn. I keep a budget. I stay within my limits. And
I don't.
I don't need all the yarn that I have. You have a business, though. You can,
That's my spending money, so I spend whatever I want.
You spend whatever you want. So, New York Sheep and Wool is the 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Oh, yeah.
It is the Dutchess County Sheep and Wool. I think that's the official name of it. The Big E Fiber Festival is going to be in just outside of Springfield on October 2nd. And Stitches East is going to be in Connecticut on November 9th.
Wow.
So, for me, I'm going to be doing Rhinebeck. I'll be gone. I'll be there the whole weekend. The next weekend is the weekend of the 26th and 27th. I'll be home, and then I'll be gone Saturday, November 2nd, and Saturday, November 9th. So that's always a tough 4 weeks for my husband, because I'm gone every weekend somewhere, and I'm buying things. So
he doesn't care.
No, he doesn't. I like I said, I have a budget of what I can spend, and I don't go over it. If I'm going to buy something really big, like a spinning wheel or something that would cost, I always check in okay with my husband before I do that, because I'm not crazy, but I do have excessive levels of yarn because I can't possibly knit everything or spin everything that I buy. But that's okay. There are worse problems. There are worse problems in this world than I have too much yarn and fiber, right? That's a good problem. So those are the things that are coming up. I will put a thread in the group soon telling you about meetups. We do not plan a separate meetup at Rhinebeck. We do the podcasters meetup, which is usually scheduled to happen right after the Ravelry meetup. So you're in the same place. And then I will make up time to meet up with people if you're interested in meeting up at Stitches East and Big E, because I mean, it's not like there's hundreds of people there that I know. But if you are going and you want to hang out for a while or say hello, you can post in the thread. So that's it for Gossip and Innuendo. Lois's only gossip is that the BAM is coming.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I got a little sneak peek of later BAM plans. So I'm BAM plans. So I'm super excited for that too. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned after this for a drawing. So here's the section in my lovely craft area with all my boxes and my ribbon from last year's spinning contest. I went ahead and did a random number generator. There were 22 people that entered the Skeleton Mittens contest, which is for the pattern that was designed by Rachel Klusner, also known as Diabolical Yarns. And number 9 won, and that was A1 Dawen, which I would pronounce Adawen, because I would make the one be an I, but it's A1Dawen. Her real name is Ashley, and she said that she would knit them for herself and she would wear them when she's biking to work. And so yay, I'm going to pass your name on, Ashley. You are the winner. Winner, chicken dinner. And I'm going to send you back so that Lois and I from the past can say our goodbyes. See you next week. Knit with heart.
Knit with heart.
Bye.
Bye.